Hi. I want to preface this video by saying that this video is going to be consistent of my opinions, my thoughts, and my discussions that I've had in my college capstone course. So these are going to not be entirely fact, these are not going to be entirely correct, or you don't even have to care about them if you don't want to. These are just going to be things that I have to speak to you throughout the course of this video. Mainly, the things I'm going to be discussing were part of discussions that we've had for my college capstone course in political theory. So the main theme of that course was having an outlet to read, digest, and speak on the current state of our environment, mainly how frightened that we are for the future. Being a college student, we have access to some of the most digestible and modern ideas of thinking. It's literally our professors' jobs to teach us this to the best of their ability. So we face exposure to some of the most damning documents regarding the state of our future on this earth. I mean, it can be some really depressing stuff. Not that these documents are restricted to the public at all, rather that the public doesn't really go looking for these documents, and that's not in a bad way either. There's so much misinformation out and about from the rise of technology, and finding and trusting articles is so hard, even to me. And some academic articles are, when you boil them down, opinions that are reshaped and are shaped by real studies. As this article my professor recommended so aptly puts it, people are not going to be frightened into caring. Meaning, showing people the data about climate change and telling them to stop doing this, or to start doing that, or blame that person, isn't going to amount to much. People only care when they are faced themselves with the consequences. And again, that's not exactly a bad thing. Our brains struggle to grasp concepts that don't directly affect us. And because there are so many other things that we're worrying about and information that we're intaking on a daily basis, all other outputs are going to be discarded that are not relevant. In the context of the current state of the world, I firmly believe that Norfolk Southern would have buried the East Palestine train derailment without the public outcry. I mean, Aaron Brockovich decided to start investigating the case, which just sounds like something out of a movie. The change that we require The change that we need requires getting people to care on a personal level, getting them to be impacted on a personal level. The only question is, how do we do that? The words climate change don't really portray the true extent of their effect on Earth. This same idea went through a couple of past iterations, if you can recall. It was the greenhouse effect, and then it was global warming. These two were discarded from popular usage because they didn't really encompass the whole picture. When people heard global warming and greenhouse effect, they mostly just pictured a beachy paradise and said, what's so wrong with that? We need an effective name to effectively diagnose and portray the problem that's going on, but getting caught up on creating the term isn't going to help either. People are very hesitant to trust the experts, especially because we see headlines like this. Is Warren Buffett becoming a beer baron? Awesome title, right? Interested to see what Warren Buffett is up to, right? Nah. This article actually discusses the investing habits of Berkshire Hathaway, the company Buffett works for, mainly concerning itself with the various beer brands whose value has been lowered from Trump's tariffs. So now, the article is by Yahoo Finance, so it doesn't exactly have a trustworthy source, but all the same, how are you supposed to trust someone or something when you're constantly being blasted with information in this type of way? An article by AAMC uses this graph to describe the percentage of United States adults who place their trust in these three groups of professionals: medical scientists, and the military. The Pew Research Center reported in February of 2021 that only 29% have a great deal of confidence in medical scientists to act in the best interests of the public, which was down from 40% in November of 2020. So that is only a few months difference. Compare this to 29% having their faith in scientists from December of 2021 to November of 2020, and 25% down from 39% for the military in the same time frame. Now, this graph is going to be impacted because of COVID-19, but perhaps that presents us with, some of the best data of all, due to people getting constantly blasted with messages about doing this and don't do this in order to keep up with themselves, their family, the whole world, etc. safe. The article quotes one mother's decision fatigue, trying to grapple with the consequences of each and every decision, meaning potential life or death for your children. And when some social media is specifically designed to confuse and divide people, misinformation and falsehoods can cause mass deterioration or disorientation. That's what I meant to say. Now, combine everything that we just talked about with the idea that our society is specifically designed to always be pumping out new and shiny things. Products are released yearly or sometimes even more frequently than that, just so that brands can keep people engaged with their things. Sometimes these products don't even really have anything measurably different. But when we're conditioned to always want something that has a new feature, a new color, is sized differently, or just generally new and fresh, we buy into it. I mean, this phone, there was nothing wrong with my old one, but I wanted something that was smaller, so I bought this instead of just keeping my perfectly adequate, still working well phone. Now, bypassing all the ideas on where our waste goes, the ethics of recycling, composting, etc., let's look at the mental health impacts of always needing something shiny and new to be excited about. I mean, look at me try and record this screen capture. Instant ad, and there's one playing off to the side and there's one playing on the bottom. It's almost like the computer knows and is telling the website that I started recording just so that it could pop up this fresh ad for me to click on. Shiny object syndrome, which is what I was trying to get to, as the psychologists are calling it these days, is a term that describes the tendency to chase new ideas, trends, and opportunities at the expense of current projects and commitments. We can see this in all aspects of life. New phones, new clothes, even people in healthy, committed relationships wanting to trade in for someone new just to feel the spark again. Isn't that like every Hallmark movie? Looking back though, this is something that's existed in society for a long time. Probably. We definitely used to have a better grasp on using what we had instead of buying something new though, especially because, poverty. But it's hardwired in our brains too. If something's not working, discard it. The problem is that our access to social media has rewired our brains into wanting shiny and new all of the time. When we constantly receive new information, are always checking our phones for alerts, pushing ourselves into being busy all the time and striving for unrealistic goals, we are rewiring our brains to work quicker, want quicker, and be quicker. And when we're being quicker about things, time is going to pass quicker. Has it felt like we're in 2025 yet to you? Because it certainly has not to me. But it's not really an easy thing to solve either. Again, isn't that the premise of so many Hallmark movies? The city girl moves back home and has to learn to slow down again. I'm getting a little long-winded here though, so I'll try and wrap this up. These topics are, essentially, everything that's been running through my mind over the past few months. How am I going wrong? How do I fix myself? How do I fix the world? I don't even know that it's that simple anymore, if it was ever. Things are bad. Things are really bad. And no amount of recycling is going to return the world to what it was thousands of years ago. We're kind of past that point. AI servers use a bajillion metric tons of energy to operate. Big oil companies will continue to pump into the atmosphere. Our rain will continue to get more acidic. Are you depressed yet? Only, I don't know that it's all a bad thing. Social media and technology present the opportunity for us all to connect. It's given me the opportunity to record this, to write this, It's given me the opportunity to learn about other cultures, even though I don't have enough money to travel there, to learn languages that are long dead without finding a master in it. Technology presents a lot of great, fun, exciting things that we get to do with our world now, ways that we can better connect with the world, with other people across the world. It's just that we are using it in a very unsustainable way. And I don't know that we know how to fix that yet, know how to fix it, know how to overcome it, know how to work through that yet. That might be something that only comes with time and only comes with people that are pioneering right now, continuing to pioneer. So all of this to say is that there are so many good things that have come with us continuing to evolve in this world, but there are also some things that we decided to care less about on the way here. And I think that going back and figuring out where we went wrong and looking back on what we have created and trying to improve it instead of constantly creating new things might be where we need to head instead of constantly creating new things. But all of this to say, this is an opinion from somebody in my position, somebody who has gotten the chance to go to college, who has gotten the chance to study theory and not something that is probably more useful in their daily life, somebody who has had the opportunity to always have the opportunities that I have and have the access to the technology that I have. So again, this is to say that this is just an opinion, and my opinion might be wrong, but that's pretty much all that I came here to say. So I hope I gave you something to think about.